One of the fundamental features in InDesign is pages. Now it may seem like a small thing, but working with pages is fundamental to working in InDesign. It's where it all begins. In the previous video, we looked at the vast variety of document types that can be created in InDesign. And as you would have seen from that video, there is a lot. Earlier in the course, I also introduced you to the Pages panel, but there is a lot more to be aware of when managing pages, working with the Pages panel, and working with a variety of document types. So in this video, we are going to go deeper, where I will encourage you this time to have a go and follow along with me. We're going to look at setting up a few different document types, so you can quickly get an understanding of the dynamics of InDesign, and how a variety of pages can be set up for a variety of different document types. So let's jump into InDesign and take a look at how we can manage pages. Now, when setting up a document and working with pages, it all evolves around this one panel here, the Pages panel. If you cannot see your Pages panel, you can come up to Window and click Pages. And I'm going to place my panel here on the right to the left of my visible panels, where I can click and pop it in and out like so. So let's open up this document here, where we can get hands-on to start working with pages. This document can be found in the downloadable folder that comes with this class. This download folder comes with multiple projects and a ton of assets and resources we will be using in this course. You can find the link to acquire the folder from the description. With the download folder open, click into folder 2, Practice Files, and open the Practice Worksheets InDesign file. So this is the essential practice worksheet document we will be using for the duration of this course. If we scroll down to page 2, we can see a variety of worksheets we are going to be using over the next few episodes. For this video, we are going to start at the beginning. With the selection tool, I'll select the Pages worksheet. Now I'll either come to the Links panel and click Edit Original, or I'll hold Alt on the keyboard and double click on the worksheet thumbnail, and the worksheet will open up in its own document. So here in this worksheet, you can see what we are going to cover, and below we have a few practice documents which we will be referring back to shortly. So we are going to start simple and then see how complex it can get. To begin, let's either come up to File New or use the keyboard shortcut Command+N on Mac or Control+N on PC. Upon click, we'll be greeted with the new document window. From here, you have a few choices. If we look along the top, we can see Recent, Saved, Print, Web, and Mobile. And if we click on one of these, we can also click View All Presets to get more options for each. So for this example, let's click on Print, and I'll click on A4 and then look carefully at the options to the right. So first, I'll set the units to millimeters and keep the orientation set to portrait. In this instance, I do not want facing pages, so I'll uncheck this. Now, if you're wondering what this is, I'll explain more about this option shortly. Now, all I want for this document is just one page, so I'll leave the pages set to 1. Now, down in margin, I can set this to whatever I prefer. In this instance, I'll just type in 20 for the top, and with the lock icon set to linked, it will set this to all 4 parameters. Down in the bleed and slug, I'll set this to 3mm and click Create. So once we have a document set up like this, you will now see one page in the Pages panel, which you can now click to select. And as you do so, you will see it will become blue to show it is selected. With it selected, you can come to the bottom of the Pages panel and simply click to add a new page. Upon click, you will see a new page thumbnail in the Pages panel and the new page appear underneath your page in the work area. So now you have 2 pages in your Pages panel, you can now click between these. So if I wanted to add a new page, say after page 1, I could click back onto page 1 and hit the add page to place it directly after page 1. And if I wanted to add a new page after page 3, I can click page 3 and add another page. So adding pages is super easy. Keep in mind that to add a new page in a specific place, you will first need to click the page in the Pages panel, and then when you add a page, it will appear next to it in the Pages panel and under it in the work area. Okay, so back into the worksheet. With the selection tool, I'll select the thumbnail for Practice Document 1, and I'll either come to the Links panel and click Edit Original, or I'll hold Alt on the keyboard and double click on the Practice thumbnail, and the document will open up in its own tab, like so. So this is the same document we just set up, but here we have some colors and shapes on each page, and if we look in the Pages panel, we can see the contents of each page on the thumbnail. So while we're on the topic at looking at the Pages panel, if I drag out the panel, there are a few options we can keep in mind. So if we right click on the grey area in the Pages panel, we can come to Panel Options. Here we can tweak a bunch of things. Here you can set pages to be extra small or extra large. You can click to show thumbnails, and you can tweak the size of the parent pages. For now, I'll set my pages to Jumbo. Now, if I come back and right click in the grey area, I can come to View Pages, and from here you can select vertical or horizontal. Personally, I like to have it set to horizontal, so I can see more pages in the panel space. So these are some panel viewing options to consider. And I'm just going to drag my panel back in like so and adjust the size of it. Okay, so now I'm going to come up to page 1 in the work area and press Command+0 on Mac or Control+0 on PC, and this will fill my page to the work area. So right now we are looking at this page in full view. If, for example, I wanted to jump to the last page, in the Pages panel I can double click on the last page, and in the work area it will jump to it. If I double click on page 2, we can jump to that. So the Pages panel can also be useful for navigating through your documents, especially if you have a lot of pages to save you scrolling through. Okay, so once you have some pages in your document, it can be easy to manage them and reorder them in the Pages panel, giving you the power to control your pagination. To do this is as simple as clicking and dragging a page in the panel to wherever you want it. So I'll zoom out here. For example, I'll click on page 3 in the Pages panel and click and drag it over in between page 1 and 2. When you see the line between the pages and then release, the page will be placed into the new position in the pagination. You can also do this with multiple pages. Now if I click on page 1, press and hold Shift and click on page 2, this will select multiple, where I can click and drag to place them both after the last page. So as easy as it is to create, you can also delete. For example, I want to remove the last 3 pages. So I'll click off to deselect the last 2 pages. I'll click on the last page, press and hold Shift on the keyboard and click page 2. This will select multiple pages. With my last 3 pages selected, I'll click the bin icon to remove, and now I'm left with just 1 page. Easy. And I'll click on the colored shape and remove, so we are back to our blank page. So when working with pages in InDesign, you will also need to keep in mind the Properties panel. I have mine up at the top here, but if you cannot see yours, you can come up to Window and click Properties. Now in here, we can see a range of options. It's from here we can edit the document settings. You can click to change the document size. From the drop down, you can change the document to A5 or A3, for example. I'll just click to go back to A4. If you want, you can even add a custom value. So I'll change the height to 400 millimeters, but on this occasion, I'll click to go back to A4. Here you can also change the rotation. Here I'll click on Landscape this time, and now I have the page as landscape. And if I want to change the document page amount really easily, I can do it here. So I'll type in 3 and press enter, and now I have 3 landscape pages in my document. Easy. So to create pages is really easy. You can either use the Add Page tool in the Pages panel, or you can come up to the Properties panel and set your page number here. But another way to add pages is to duplicate pages. So back into the worksheet, this time I'll open the next practice document. With the selection tool, I'll select the thumbnail for practice document 2. I'll hold Alt on the keyboard and double click on the worksheet thumbnail, and the document will open. And if we look in the Pages panel, we can see the contents of each page in the thumbnail. In the Pages panel, if we select a page, for example, page 3, we can right click, and from the option, we can duplicate the spread. Notice that by duplicating the page, we also duplicate the content inside. If you ever create a page with some content, and instead of creating a new page, you want to duplicate the same content onto a different page, you can just use duplicate. This time, I'll click the first page, press and hold Shift and click the second page. With them both selected, I can right click and duplicate the spreads, and now we have 6 pages. Now I'll just press Command+Z on Mac or Control+Z on PC to undo that. Again, I'll select page 1 and 2, but this time, if I right click, I have the option to duplicate at the end of the document. Now here is another easy way to do this and place the page wherever you want. For example, if we click page 2 in the Pages panel, press and hold Alt on the keyboard and drag between page 3 and 4, we will see a line appear. When we release, that will then not only duplicate the page, but place it in a new place where we want it. And again, I'll press Command-Z on Mac or Control-Z to undo that. So once you have multiple single pages in your document, it can be really easy to set up spreads. Now, there are a few ways to keep in mind here. First is to come up to the Properties panel, and in here we can see an option Facing Pages. If we click that, we will notice then that the document will change, and now we have double page spreads applied. And if we come to the Pages panel, we can see a different setup applied. Here we have one page as the cover on its own, and page 6 as the back cover on its own. Now, just like earlier, if we click on a page, I'll click on page 2, press and hold Shift and click on page 3 to select multiple, right click and duplicate, we will now have a new double page spread. Easy. Okay, so this time I'll click on page 2 and simply add a new page at the bottom of the Pages panel, and now we will see the back cover is gone. And if I add another page, we will have our back cover back. Now, in Adobe InDesign, facing pages are used to create layouts for documents with left and right pages, like books and magazines. The first page stands alone at the top because it represents the cover or the first right-hand page, which appears alone when the document is printed. Subsequent pages are displayed in pairs or spreads to reflect the natural left-right format of printed material. This layout helps designers see how their content will look in real-world bound format. When working with facing pages for books, magazines, or brochures, pages need to be even to get the front and back cover as a standalone. Earlier in this video, when we set up a new document, in the new document window, there was a checkbox called Facing Pages. When we initially set up the document, we made sure this was unchecked. When you create a new document and we have this checked, if you set the pages to an even number, for example 4, when you click Create, the document will be set up in Facing Pages. So keep in mind, you can set up a document initially in Facing Pages, or you can set it afterwards. In InDesign, it's very flexible to turn this on and off in the Properties menu. Now, sometimes we may not want to work with pages in this way. We may still want spreads, but not like this set to Facing Pages. So let's look at another way to work with spreads. So I'll come back up to the Properties panel and click to uncheck the Facing Pages icon, and now we are back to 10 pages as single pages. What I want to do now is get these pages up and next to each other. So to do this, we can go to the top right of the Pages panel to click the menu. By default, we will see these two ticks next to Allow Document Pages to Shuffle and Allow Selected Spread to Shuffle. Here we will want to click to uncheck Allow Document Pages to Shuffle. Then in the Pages panel, we can grab a page, for example page 2, and drag it across and right next to page 1. When you see a line next to the page in the Pages panel, you can release and that will snap to the page, and in the work area you will now see a spread at the top. So now I can click and drag page 4 and snap it next to page 3. Easy. So in the Pages panel, I'll click on page 10, press and hold Shift, click on page 5 and hit the bin icon to remove the remaining pages. Then I can click on page 1, press and hold Shift, click on page 4 to select them all, right click and duplicate spread, and instantly I have 8 pages in 4 spreads super quick. And if I press W on the keyboard, we can toggle off normal view and we can see our spreads. Now we don't have to end there. Back in the Pages panel, this time I'll click on page 5, press and hold Shift and click on page 6, then drag them both up to snap to page 4. And now we have 4 pages in a row. So right now in the work area, these pages are slap bang next to each other, and we may not want that. Next, I want to put some space between page 1 and 2. So when working with pages in InDesign, you will also need to keep in mind the Page tool. Now this can be found up in the top of the Tools panel. This tool allows you to select specific pages in your document to make changes. So with the Page tool selected, you can come and click any page in your document. So with the tool selected, I'll click on page 2 in my work area. Now when you have a page selected, in the control panel you can see some options. The first thing I'm going to do is just click and drag the page to the right. Before I do this, I'll make sure that Object Move with Page is checked, and then drag to the right, like so. For now, I'll just right-click the grey area of the Pages panel, come up to Panel Options, and set my page size to large so I can see them. And if I press W, I can now see that there are 2 separate pages. If I come into the Pages panel, click on page 2 and hit the Add Page button, it will add another page. But under them, if I grab and snap to page 2, I'll have to click the Page tool to drag it to the right a little, and now I have 3 separate pages at the top. This can be good if you want to work on 3 instances of the same document and see them side by side. Now notice that even though we have put space between them in the work area, in the Pages panel they still appear to be side by side. Keep in mind, this is just representative. So next, in the Pages panel, I'll click on page 1, press and hold Shift and select page 3, right click and duplicate, and now we have another spread. Okay, so this time, with the Page tool, I'll click on page 4. Now up in the control panel, you can do a range of things. Like in the Properties panel, you can click to change the page size. From the drop-down, you can change the document to A5 or A3. I'll just go back to A4. Here you can also change the orientation to portrait, and you can also manually change the page size. With the page tool active, if you press and hold Alt on the keyboard and click on one of the corner icons, you can click and drag to customize the size of the page manually, and can even add a custom value. So I'll change the height to 110 and the width back to 297. Next, with the page tool, I'll click on page 5, press and hold Shift on page 6 in the Pages panel, and change the height to 110. So now I have a row of pages with custom sizes. And if we look in the Pages panel, we can see our new row where the custom pages are, and they are now in a different shape to match. Now, if I click on page 6 and add a new page, it will make another A4 landscape page. And this is because of the root document settings. Keep in mind, if you want to change the size of the document, which will apply to all the pages, you will need to do this in the Properties panel. And if you want to change the size of a specific page or multiple pages, you need to use the Page tool. So that is how you can manage pages in InDesign. If you're watching this video and using InDesign for the first time, I would recommend having a play around with the Pages panel and the options for a while, just like we did in this video. And before you know it, you will be really comfortable managing pages. Once you get a good understanding of pages, you can create any document type you like in InDesign. So this now leads us to one of the most powerful features in InDesign when working with pages, and that's using parent pages. Parent pages enables us to manage elements that appear multiple times throughout a document. So in the next video, we are going to look at how parent pages work and how we can set them up and manage them in InDesign. So I'll see you in the next video.